What's up, everyone? I'm back after a 1 month hiatus, and oh, how a lot has happened over that last 1 month. I made a video a while back called Our Funding Talent a Scam. I feel vindicated. But anyway, I'm going to get onto that in another video. Today, I'm going to just do a normal technical analysis video. I want to analyze AUDUSD as I made a 28R trade on this pair over the last week. And I'm going to explain to you the breakdown of how I made that money using the Vertex strategy. As you guys know, that I've switched to kind of more to Forex. I might have to change my banner actually, because it's more reflective of what I do now. I've switched to Forex because of the earning potential in this strategy that I've been using. Check out Vertex again, once again. That's the strategy I use, but it's basically kind of ICT type of strategy. But anyway, let's get into this video. That's all I've got to say, really. Let's get straight into it. Hi guys, it's Any, aka the NocTrader, your friendly neighborhood swing trader, back again with another video. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that alert button to get alerts on all my latest videos. I've got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the NocTrader on all social media platforms. Follow me on Insta, guys. I'm trying to get my Insta up. I'm still at 1,500 subscribers. I haven't really been posting much recently. I'm going to post way more and some of my technical breakdowns on my Insta and my Twitter. But without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So I'm going to give you a technical analysis breakdown of a trade that I made. I took two positions on the Aussie dollar and I made 28R. So for you guys that don't know what R is, I'm not disclosing how much money I put behind each trade, but it's a nominal amount that I trade for each trade. So if I put $1 or £1 in, I would have made £28 back. Crazy returns, isn't it? But I'm going to show you how I took this trade. Once again, using the Vertex ICT Smart Money Concept strategy. And yeah, so I'm going to show you. So on the daily time frame, as you can see, I didn't really check much on the daily time frame, if I'm honest. I started on the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, as you can see here, there was a big 4-hour. Let me rewind. So there was a big 4-hour order block here that had been unmitigated. So, and as you can see below it, there was another 4-hour OB that had been mitigated, followed by another 4-hour order block that had been mitigated. So as you can see here, price has been going down, retracing to mitigate orders, going down, retracing to mitigate orders. Now it recently just broken through this 4-hour OB. So the only next viable option was to see whether it would react to this 4-hour OB above, which had not been mitigated. So my initial thoughts were, okay, that means that when prices, let me do the replay function. So my initial thoughts were, okay, that means that price is probably going to, it's probably going to find its way back up here to this order block, because it had broken through this 4-hour OB. So that means this OB was no longer relevant, and the only order block that had not been mitigated had been this 4-hour one. Now these two blue lines I did here were actually a refined order block within this 4-hour order block. So I was looking for a price to either hit somewhere in between these two lines once you refine the order block. And lo and behold, when I went down to the 1-hour chart, I also saw something else. So I saw that price had not only started climbing up, but it was the order flow was really bullish. These are 1-hour order blocks. For every 1-hour order block, price was just mitigating it. So price was going up, coming back down, retracing to mitigate the 1-hour order block, up again, bullish momentum, impulsive, mitigation, up again, mitigation, twice in a row. So I was like, okay, this is probably gonna happen a third time. So that's when I zoomed down into even a lower time frame, and then I was on Friday, which was non-farm payroll. I was cognizant that it was NFP, so I was like, should I not take a trade? But this setup was too nice for me not to take it. So what I was looking for was price to retrace back down. You can see it here anyway. To retrace back down to this order block and then climb up to the 4-hour order block. So what I was looking for was a retracement back down to this 1-hour order block to then retest this 4-hour order block somehow. And what happened here was that if you keep going, the next thing that happened made me even more confident in this trade, because as you can see here, price made pretty much like a equal highs just below the 4 hour order block. And as we know about, what I like to see is that when I see equal high, so liquidity forming just below order block, that means that there's a high probability that that order block is going to get mitigated at some point. So what I was looking for now was price to retrace back down into this order block, and then, which is the 1 hour order block, and then come back up to the 4 hour order block, which, if that makes sense. So I was looking for retracement, then come back up here. So what I did was that I went down to an even lower time frame. Now by the time price had had entered the 1 hour order block, it was Friday the 18th, which was Friday the 8th of October, which is non-farm payroll day. But I was like, no, I don't care. I'm going to take this trade. I'm just going to make sure I get a really good entry. So this is where like the smart money concept, vertex strategy comes in. I could have easily taken a long here. And if I take a long here, once it hit this 1 hour order block, my position could have been easily, I could have taken a long here, set my stop loss here, so that it doesn't get mitigated by this, and then just take my profit in this 4 hour order block. And that would have been a 2.6 to 1. I don't want a 2.6 to 1. I want to make more money than that. So I went down into like the 2 minute chart, I believe. No, I went down into the 1 minute chart. And then I waited for the UK Open, which is around between that 7 and 9 o'clock. And what I'm looking for is like high highs to form so that I can make an entry. And lo and behold, let's slow this down a little bit. Let's speed it up a little bit. So price is just it's not really doing anything. Right now, it's between 8, but nothing really is this is just noise to me. Nothing really good has happened yet for me to get a good entry in. But this is all I needed. All I needed was high highs to form, and this is what I like to see. So as you can see here, high highs were forming, and this was giving me the confidence to take an entry. Now I'd already missed this, but if you look at the 1 minute chart, you see that there's a breaker structure here, and then it retraced back to the order block. So retrace, breaker structure, mitigation, breaker structure, some sort of mitigation. I believe there's mitigation here. Yeah, mitigation here. Another breaker structure. And then this was another impulsive move again. So now after this, I saw this impulsive move. I set an entry on the 1 minute chart, and I was like, okay, cool. This is a great place to take a position. Price is probably going to retrace back down to this area and then come back up. So I set an entry just at the top of this 1 minute order block, and I set my stop loss below it at about 2 pips stop loss. And then let's see what happened. Straight away, yeah, it entered. I'll show it it entered the order block, and then it started climbing. So I was happy with that. And I thought to myself, even if it goes up between NFP, then at least I can lock in my profit. So the minute price broke this breaker structure here. So the minute it broke here, I set my stop loss to break even. So then I was in a zero risk trade. But then I just carried on watching it. I carried on watching this trade. So, and then what I did was that I set my stop loss. So I was being very conservative, to be honest, just because of NFP. So I set my stop loss to the equal high. So even though I believed the price was going to go all the way into this order block here, this 4 hour order block, I just thought, let me set it here just in case something goes wrong. So then I just kind of waited, and I just kept following this chart on the 1 minute chart. Just keep following this trade on the 1 minute chart. So then I followed it, and then look. Once again, another order block was formed. So I'm going to move this here just so we can still analyze this. Another impulsive move was created. There's one created here as well, and I'd actually set a buy here as well, but I don't think it ever came back to it. But so I set a couple buys, but this one never got retraced back down to. But price came up again, and then when it came back into this area, we were getting really close to NFP time. So NFP time was 1:30 UK time. So I had to be conscious of it. But as I said, I made this basically a zero risk trade. So now I had nothing to lose, but I thought I could maybe get another entry. So when this impulsive move happened again around 11, I wanted an extra confirmation. So I waited for price to come into this area, and then I went down to like the, I believe 15 second order block, 15 seconds. So now price is already mitigated here, and as you can see, look at where it's mitigated. Even on the 15-second time, it respected the order block to the point where it mitigated exactly at this point, if you can see here. But just for confirmation, when it mitigated, I thought, okay, it's gonna make 2 high highs, then return back to this area. So then that's when I set an order here, and then it came back in, and then I got my second long. Went back down to the 1 minute chart, and then I just let it run, and I just kind of just watched it, and it just carried on going up. And then so 1:30 was NFP time. So then I was like, I was so confident in this trade, even though normally I wouldn't necessarily trade NFP. I thought, nah, I'm really happy with this trade. So I marked 1:30 here, so that's when NFP started. So then let's just see how this played out on the 1 minute chart. And look at that. It just broke through. It broke through once NFP came, and then funnily enough, it hit exactly at the refined order block that I'd created for the 4-hour OB. And I'll show you why I marked this blue line as where the 4-hour OB refined order block was. Because if you go back, this is the order block. So I'm gonna ignore that. This is the order block that I set for the 4-hour OB. Now if I go down to, I believe, a 10-minute chart, all I did was that I refined it so that this was the 10, no, it's not 10-minute, 15-minute. What was my reasoning? I can't remember now. Yeah, the 30-minute chart, that's it. So all I did was that I set the height at the peak of the order block, and then at the low at the base of the candlestick on the 30-minute chart. And then lo and behold, to be honest, it was just basically the 50% mark of the 4-hour order block, which was let me see. Yeah, so it's about basically 50%, give or take. But yeah, so that's how I decided where this blue line went. But it was just pot luck, and it hit it exactly. So the total of these two trades, I made 13R on one, and I made 15R on the other. So I made a combination of 28R within 1 day. So within a couple of hours. From 9, my first entry was about 9. My second entry was about 12, and it hit take profit both at around 2 o'clock because of NFP. So yeah, that was a great trade. But yeah, I'm following AU a bit more than some of the other USD pairs, just because it really respects all the blocks just from my back testing and my analysis. So yeah, I'm really happy with that trade. And moving on to next week, I believe there's going to be some opportunities for more trades as well. I think that especially with AUDUSD, now that it's respected that 4-hour order block, my next theory is that I believe price will eventually retest this order block. It'll do one or two things. Let me clear this. Let me clear that. Price will do one or two things. Well, it'll do one or two things. It'll mitigate this 4-hour order block, which is just created, which it kind of already has done. So, and then it could potentially climb up here to retest that at a deeper retracement in the 4-hour order block before selling off. The reason why I believe that is because it's been making bullish order flow for some time. It's come up to this order block, but it's just tapped it. I believe there's still some orders to mitigate here, because there's kind of like a wick trick at this top area. So I believe on the AU, I would want to see a long here followed by like some movement inside the 4-hour order block before retracement. So I'd say something, because this is like a better representation of what's going to happen. Let me show you. I think it'll do something like this, and then obviously it'll just start making lower lows, and then it'll sell off. So that's my theory. So over the next week, that's what I'm going to be looking for AUUSD. But yeah, that's me, aka the NocTrader, signing out.